You are now listening to the Friends of Rugby podcast. Relax your anus. Balls. Thick thighs. Camille Shat. Where's his neck? Eddie Jones. You're fucked, mate. We're nice now.
And we are recording.
Welcome back to rugby. Welcome home, rugby.
Welcome home. It has started. It's like this is like the new year.
Yeah.
This is when the year starts.
Yeah, it is. It is. This is, everyone's going back to school. The leaves are falling off the trees and rugby weather is back. This is real rugby weather.
You got test rugby. You got domestic league starting up.
Yeah.
URC Prem top 14 has been going all year long.
There's too much to talk about.
We got scammed on Champions Cup tickets.
We're going to go. We're going.
We're going to the Champions Cup final.
Yes, we are. And the Challenge Cup final, which is equally important.
I love, for everyone at home, we bought tickets to the Champions Cup final in Cardiff.
And the Challenge Cup.
And the Challenge Cup, because you get the double header.
It's actually a good deal. Yeah.
It was like, what, $250?
Yeah, it was. I was surprised.
Canadian? That was Canadian.
That's Canadian dollars, yeah.
That's like a normal, like, NHL regular season game.
Yeah. And yeah, good luck getting that price for a playoff game in the NHL. And we're getting
a final.
We're getting the creme de la creme of European rugby and South Africa.
I really hope it's for the Challenge Cup. I hope it's Black Lion
versus Cardiff. Black Lion will pull out a scrapey win.
That would actually be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
I wonder who it will be.
I reckon it'll be Leinster and a French team, Challenge Cup, Champions Cup, sorry, and I reckon a South African team in the challenge. The worst South African team will be in the Challenge Cup final.
I don't know. I don't know if Leinster. I'm not feeling Leinster. I think this is going to be a humbling season for Leinster.
I was thinking that there's only so many times you can go that close and not let it demoralize you. Yeah.
And I feel like some of the players that they've been relying on for a long time are kind of on the phase out.
Yeah, I feel like the tide is turning, the public opinion is turning a little bit against Porter and Tyke Furlong as well, to be honest. They do look a bit tired and...
Not Porter. I don't think Porter. Furlong for sure.
A little bit, eh?
Yep.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we'll get into that.
They'll be there.
Because URC is back.
Well, two guys with very distinct ADHD problems talking about this much rugby is going to be a problem. Keeping us on track here.
Trying to keep it on track, trying to stay on subject.
Yeah, this is going to be hard. But we're going to do... I've written a list. Go chronologically.
You got a lot of notes there.
We're going to start with the least important of the rugby competitions that happened this weekend, the Rugby Championship.
The Rugby Championship. Yeah, I watched both games. You watched...
I watched 1 1/4.
I was the stereotypical fair weather rugby fan.
How so?
I only watched the international.
You missed the best rugby.
I was watching the Friday games at work.
Yeah, me too.
When I was supposed to be working.
Yeah, but you chose the lesser fixture, Leinster v Edinburgh.
I was switching between the two.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Yeah, I dipped into Leinster Edinburgh, and I'm only joking. That was a better game than Cardiff Zebra, but obviously I'm a Cardiff fan, so stuck with my boys. Let's start there.
Do you want to start USC or you want to start...
No, let's start with Rugby Championship. Sorry. Let's start.
We should change the name of Friends of Rugby to some sort of integrate ADD into the title. And then it should veer off somewhere in the title too, or
just start hyper-focusing on something else.
Okay, well, let's start with Wallabies, New Zealand.
Yeah. Sloppy.
If you were, in my eyes, my personal opinion, is if you're a rugby fan, you enjoy rugby, you watch rugby, you know rugby.
Yeah.
This was kind of an embarrassing game.
Yeah. Hard to disagree. I don't know how Australia got close. New Zealand looked like they were going to put 200 points on Australia to the start of that game.
New Zealand did it. New Zealand let them be there.
Yeah, they did.
They're like, you know what? We're gonna keep you guys in this game.
Yeah, it's like a dad playing his kid and he's battering him and he just lets him back in a little bit to give him a bit of hope.
Because I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding when I say this. I legit believe this. The Wallabies have the worst defense in international rugby.
Yeah, they don't come up.
They just stand
there waiting.
They give the All Blacks all the time they need to do shit. It was just unreal. I've never seen anything like that. I was like, what is this?
And it's deliberate because I've seen it in every single game of the Rugby Championship. It's clearly a strategy. Why give any team space? Never mind the All Blacks.
There's just no... Yeah, there's no... what's the word I'm looking for? When going forward tackle. Come on, you got a power tackle. Like
defensive momentum, blitz defense.
Just trying to push the team back.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah, these are book learning words here.
In a world of rugby where a lot of strategy is milking penalties via opposition mistakes through aggressive defense. That has been one of the rugby narratives of the last 10 years, right?
It was like watching Super Rugby, this game.
Yeah.
It was kind of like these two teams kind of made an agreement beforehand to just like fuck it. Yeah,
we're going to play how we used to. It's bizarre. No, but we've seen Australia do that, right? Like we've seen them stand there and wait for you to come to them. Like why would you let a team have space on you?
15 minutes into this game, All Blacks are up by 21. I legit was like, this is going to be a 100-point game.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted it to be a 100-point game. I kind of wanted that just for the talking points, I wanted to be able to talk about it.
In a weird way, they've given us more talking points by taking the foot off the gas, though, haven't they? Everyone expected this was the day the All Blacks really put a team to the sword, show you the All Blacks of old, right? They've been licking their lips at a chance to show you that they will score 1 million points on you if you give them an inch. That's the All Blacks we know. They've gone from being undoubtedly the best team in the world to just a good team. And this is a really good example of that, a team that cannot be merciless, right? Because, they won, but I don't think there's a single Kiwi who's going to be happy with that result.
No. If you're an All Blacks fan, you're kind of pissed.
Yeah, I would be.
That game was there. So it felt they won the game still.
They
still won the
exactly.
game.
We're talking like they lost.
But it felt like a loss.
It did. It did.
They had, when the first 20 minutes of that game.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, this is going to be a great day at work.
Yeah.
And credit to the Wallabies, but I don't want to give too much credit for them. They have some good players. There's actually a couple of players that I thought stood out from their team.
Yeah. But,
man, they couldn't create anything. Everything came off of, the All Blacks' fuck-ups.
Yeah.
They're the All Blacks have this obsession with, forward passing. They love a good forward pass in New Zealand.
Well, someone not noticing them as well.
And they do a lot, just handling errors. And the Wallabies, every second or third phase, the ball would cough up.
Yeah.
It was so sloppy. Neither team could, it was just, whenever the other team got the ball, for the rest of the game, whenever another team got the ball, it was only a few phases until the other team just coughed the ball up.
Yeah.
And there was either a knock on or handling error or some kind of shit, or dropping the ball, getting tackled.
I watched Fiji USA a few weeks ago, right? It felt like that game when no one could go 2 or 3 phases without knocking it on. And that was hard to watch. But this you expect better. The weird thing is Australia actually have a really good attack right now.
They do. Okay, that's one thing I got to talk about with them. Their attack, they look, when they get going,
they're sharp, aren't they?
They're sharp. They look sexy.
Yeah.
That Lolesio kid, he's good offensively.
Yeah.
Defensively,
he looks like he's scared
a child.
of tackling, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got some issues. He's a defensive liability.
Yeah.
There were some, Will Jordan went in for a try and basically just ran past Lolesio.
He didn't get, we talk about this a lot at training. You got to get your body close before your arms do anything. If you're flailing and you look like Frankenstein, there's no way you're making a tackle, right? You have to get your body physically close to them. They never looked like they wanted to get their knee between their legs to make that tackle.
Also, I don't think there's another tier 1 national side. If that same situation was put up, Will Jordan against anyone else in any other country, he wouldn't have made that try. He would have got tackled. I don't think there's a single, even Italy, an Italian would have made that tackle.
Yeah.
Italians are not bad at tackling.
No, they're not actually. Defensively, they've improved a lot as well recently. Yeah, I think Will Jordan, he is faster than people. He's really fucking fast. But there's something about Will Jordan, and Bowden Barrett is the same. They just run really fast in a straight line. If you can catch them, you can tackle them. They don't step a lot, right? They do little swerves, but they don't step a lot. So if you can get close to him, you can tackle him. You've just got to be as fast as them, right? But he had all the time in the world to tackle him, so it's hard to disagree. And that might have won the game. A lot of shoulda, woulda, couldas in that game. But you think from New Zealand's point of view, they should have had that wrapped up by half time. Really, they should have been in no danger of losing that game. I'm talking like they lost. They didn't lose. It's bizarre.
It's because how the other teams have taken advantage of them, of the Wallabies.
Yeah.
And the All Blacks, this was a time to prove that they weren't in a regression. Like the All Blacks.
That's what I'm saying.
This was the game to prove that.
Yeah.
And for them to struggle with a team that was very visibly, like undercooked already.
Yeah, it looked tired by halftime.
They look tired.
Yeah.
They have there's some guys that are there's going to be household names coming up. Like that for Wallabies, like Fraser McWright. He's good.
Yeah.
He was the shining beacon of the Wallabies.
Yeah. I know I keep saying it as well, but I think Valentini is becoming one of, if you
he works like he's a hard worker on the field.
When we're talking about, potential sort of Sanzar Lions or whatever, he's becoming someone I go, no, he probably gets in that team, actually. He probably gets in that team.
I'm surprised he hasn't been lured to France with big money.
It could still happen.
Big guy, powerful.
Yeah.
He's good defensively, I think.
I like Callaway as well. I've enjoyed watching Callaway in this tournament because he does make his tackles. He is reliable when he plays at fullback as well.
Well, he wasn't playing full. He was on wing in this game.
No, he was. But
they had Tom Wright.
Yeah.
I thought he had a good game too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So there were some. If you're a Wallabies fan, you're seeing some of these players. There's some hopes.
There's
some bright lights in the distance.
Yeah, as much as we've shit on them, there is a few things which have come out of this which gives me a little bit of hope. One is their attack. Another thing is they don't give up either. Fair play to them. They do not go away.
No.
Like because they stayed in that game, didn't they? Like when a lot of teams would have gone, fuck this, we're getting battered.
I wouldn't I think there's an illusion there. I don't think they stayed in the game. I think the All Blacks kept them in the game because the All Blacks are a messy team. They play high stakes. They take a lot of risks, and they cough up the ball a ton. They make a lot of mistakes, and their discipline is shit. Their discipline is so fucking bad.
Yeah.
It keeps other teams in the game.
It does. I'm going to say a couple of things positives about the All Blacks, right? I think to me they're still the best international side at the breakdown.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They're fucking ferocious at the breakdown.
Right now, I think right now that's they're the best team in the world at the breakdown.
Yeah. And you mentioned this stat to me earlier, best scrum in the Rugby Championship.
Best scrum in the Rugby Championship.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought that. And you actually said this to me as well. Worst scrum, Springboks. Strange.
Springboks, yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it. But anyway, so there's positives for the All Blacks. And yeah, they're still winning games, but their bench, negatives, their bench, just like I've never seen, like in the age of effective benches, they are the team in the top 10 that do not have an effective bench.
They got Anton Leonard-Brown coming off. Like, who is he?
He was Antoine Leonard-Brown. It's kind of a big deal.
I know who he is, but like he hasn't been a thing since like it feels like
he's the Sonny Bill Williams era of centers, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, or like 2019, like 2018.
Yeah. Why haven't they found a young center to replace him? Is what you're saying, right?
And Harry Plummer, who the fuck is that guy? Like, who is that guy?
Yeah. He's not making a name for himself just yet. Well, he has debuted recently, though, hasn't he? So
their bench. I think I'm not saying like New Zealand have the talent to be the best team in the world.
Yep.
The best players in the world are there and in South Africa, hands down. Right? They have all the talent. They can put together a World Cup winning team every single year.
Oh yeah, they will.
They have some coaching issues.
As much as
there's some coaching and some selection issues.
Yeah.
There's some bad decision making and bad coaching going on.
I think it's an attitude problem. They just don't have that steely edge, that ruthlessness that we expect from them.
I think they do. They're a very physical team. They put things to the sword. They play hard.
I mean in terms of sharpness, like I don't expect them to make that many handling errors.
They're relying on players that aren't playing in Super Rugby. And they're kind of relying on the old guard still.
Yeah.
They got to bring some they got to energize the team a little bit. They
do. For all the negatives though,
there's a lot of rugby being played by these players. These guys have a lot of miles on the
You're saying they're tired?
They might be tired. There's a lot of miles on some of these players.
Yeah.
And it's time to start like bringing in some new guys. And I think they're trying to hold on to some guys I don't think contribute enough. Like Sevu Reece does not contribute enough on the field. Will Jordan's good, but he doesn't contribute enough on the field.
So like I was saying before, though, the All Blacks style of play is more you stick to your position because we'll get the ball to you.
Yeah.
Right? Because everyone is good at what they do. So yeah, we don't see people in the mold of James Lowe coming to look for work off the wing, do we? In the same way,
and trying to force I was before the rugby championship. I was a big supporter of Damien McKenzie being at 10.
He's lost stock for me.
And I'm like, he needs to play 10. And it's been evident for a while now that he's just not.
He's not a 10.
He's not the guy that you want there.
No.
I mean, they're just forcing it. It's like they're trying to fit a circle into a square hole. Like they're just trying to force it in. Like, no, he's going to play here. He's going to play here. Bowden Barrett is kind of positionless. He's kind of turned into a daily.
It's weird because Bowden Barrett can play 10 very well.
Yeah.
And Damien Kenzie can play fullback very well. Put them in the positions they're fucking good at,
Yeah, right? Like these two guys that have positions that they're actually really good at.
Really good at as well. Not just a bit good at. Like they're both very good at their respective original positions, Yeah,
but Bowden's he's kind of turned into a Daly. What's Daly's first name? Elliot Daly.
Elliot, yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of turned into that. Or
the Swiss Army knife of backs.
Who was the guy from Australia?
Oh,
Reece Hodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of turning into that. He's kind of getting into that mode. Like, where is he supposed to be?
Yeah.
You put him on the wing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You could. He's fast.
I would assume. I'm surprised they haven't started him at 10.
Me too. I'm very surprised.
It's like, maybe we should go with him at 10 and Damien McKenzie at fullback.
Yeah, they should.
Damien McKenzie's playing 10 though for a few seasons now.
Yeah.
Like he has the 10 jersey at the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And he's good. He was good enough to make me believe he should be the guy at the 10 going forward.
Yeah.
And I think even you may have said that too.
Yeah, I probably have, yeah. I think what I'm trying to... For all the shitting we're doing on New Zealand, the point is, they're still an incredible rugby team. They're still they're never going to be less than top 3, ever.
But I don't care about that. I care about the drama.
What we care about is the drama. But, the point we're trying to make is, we expect better. We've been under the thumb of New Zealand rugby for 1,000,000 years. Like, their reign of tyranny is over. Now they're just a very good rugby team. They're not the team that no one can ever beat ever, right? Now they're just a really good team. And that's fine, but if I was a Kiwi, I'd be like, we've gone down a notch in standards, and they're not used to that, right? We're not used to that.
I would put the blame on this on the coaching staff.
It has to be, doesn't it? Yeah.
The selection has been shitty. That not being able to utilize the bench.
Yeah.
Just players in position. This obsession with Sam Cane, just being there.
Yeah.
There's no. Yeah, they need an oomph. They need some players with some X factor. The players are good, but they need some next level guys, and they're there. The players are there. The players are playing.
Oh yeah.
They have the players.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but my take from the Wallabies All Blacks game was that was just a sloppy, fucking messy game. That I didn't think it showed the sport.
It's a bad showcase.
Yeah, it didn't showcase the sport very well.
It's just the Rugby Championship. It's a poor man's Six Nations. We don't care. Real rugby's back, Steve. We don't have to worry about this anymore.
Rugby's back.
We don't have to live on the diet rugby.
To be fair, this has been exciting, very
I'm just taking the piss. I have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I have enjoyed it, yeah.
Champions.
And to be fair, this is the most competitive the Rugby Championship has ever been since Argentina joined.
Fuck.
Because of Argentina, not just this weekend, but in the opening weekend, which we'll get to.
You legitimately have 4 teams that can beat each other on their day.
And do you know what the crazy thing is? I would not have said that at the start of this. I would have said Australia going to lose every single game. Argentina probably going to lose every single game. There's no evidence of them winning any of them. And look what's happened, I'm wrong again. Let's go to South Africa.
I just want to say something about... Oh, yeah, let's go to South Africa.
I was segueing into it, but you can say one more thing.
No, it's going to be about them.
Okay, sweet. South Africa, Argentina. What the fuck, man?
Argentina are...
Oh, they're the Glasgow of international rugby. Just defying expectations over and over again.
They win this game, and they're going to put hope in everyone's hearts.
And they'll lose the next game to Italy.
They're going to
get
fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
They're going to get fucking annihilated.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, I'm so lucky I watched this game. I'm lucky I watched this game. I'm lucky but I'm not going to believe. I'm not going to put any belief in this game.
No.
Because people are like, oh, the Rugby Championship's open now. The door is open.
Yeah.
They could win.
They could win. They could win.
I'm not going to put any hope in them.
No, you shouldn't. I just think if you're a betting man, don't go near Argentina with the fucking broom pole.
No.
Not worth it. You're going to lose every single time. Right? They defy the odds, winning and losing almost every game.
What a hard... They are some hard cunts. They are
Yeah, they are.
tough.
Yeah, they are. Pablo Matera, in his later years, he has just become this he looks like a demon now. His eyes look demonic.
He looks like a villain.
His mullet is flowing in the evil stormy winds as he scores that try, and this South African guy gets in his way. I can't remember who it was, and he just shoves him out the way after he scored. And it was such badass motherfucker energy,
He's the guy in the movie when the hero beats up all the goons.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, when all the goons are laying across the floor, all dead or knocked out, a huge guy walks out
and
the
he's
door.
cracking his knuckles.
Yeah, he's cracking his knuckles, and it's Pablo Matera.
Yeah.
And he's just walking out with his fucking, and his eyes are on fire.
Yeah.
And then the main character's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And he just starts swinging and throwing like couches and shit at you.
Yeah.
He's got super strength. That's Pablo Matera.
Did you see the remake of Roadhouse with Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor?
Yeah.
He's the Conor McGregor of Roadhouse.
Except if he was huge.
It's actually a tall man, yeah.
Yeah. It was just, everything was surprising.
Yeah.
Everything surprised me in that game. Even the scrum.
Yeah.
Because they were some times in that game where South Africa needed this scrum. They needed to make this scrum, and everyone was expecting it. They're fuck!
Why would they lose this scrum?
Argentina's roasted.
Yeah.
I think the ref kind of analyzed the scrum a little much. He was it was almost like he was kind of all over the box on the scrum.
Yeah, he was. I mean, do you remember I was talking about referees not being rule keepers but being composers? I got the impression the ref just wanted the perfect scrum. He was painting a picture in his mind of what a perfect scrum looked like, and he wasn't happy until he'd seen it. Regardless who won it, he was like, I just want to see a good scrum, I want to see both teams driving straight, all three front rows driving straight into each other, no fucking elbows going down, and he got it, but it felt like he was, like you said, nitpicking, especially on the Springbok side. He was looking for mistakes, wasn't he? It did feel like that.
Because he knows that they're so good at the scrum. He wanted to, it's almost like he had a vendetta to find out what they're really doing.
Yeah.
He's I'm gonna expose them.
There's a feeling of irony about a good scrum, because a good scrum, by definition, involves good cheating, right? Every good scrum has good cheating. Otherwise, it's not a good scrum. It's kind of ironic in a way, right?
That's why they call it the dark arts.
Yeah, it really is.
You got to do some dark shit.
Yeah, it's like cheating to the highest order because it's the most subtle shit you'll ever hear of, right? But yeah, I want to say a few things about South Africa in this, because despite them losing, I can see what they're trying to do. They remind me of Ireland under Joe Schmidt, where every facet of their game is very organized now, right? It's very deliberate and organized. And then when Argentina are scoring an insane amount of tries in the first half, all of a sudden South Africa start to realize sticking to this structure is not paying dividends. So just before or just after half, can't remember, Cobus Reinhardt comes off the back of the scrum and just sprints in for the corner and scores. And you're reminded suddenly, this Springbok team has fucking bags of talent everywhere, but they're almost so rigid in their roles, they forget that they can just pick up the ball and run through you if they want to, because they're all massive, fast, skillful men. They forget sometimes that they need to love the game as well as play to their structure. So there were glimpses of when South Africa go, hang on, we're really fucking good at rugby. Sometimes we need to just play it loose a bit. And when they did that, I thought, that's the South Africa I know and that they're capable of doing. But they're obviously trying to go through this phase of playing structured rugby, because what Rassie had talked about post-World Cup is we don't want to be the team that wins the World Cup and loses a few games in the interim. We want to be the team that wins the World Cup and wins every single fucking game in the meantime. And they didn't do that. Right? So he's I think if I was Rassie, I'd be pissed about this. This is one of those games they had to win to prove that they are going to dominate this sport for 20 years, which we know they're capable of doing.
Yeah, because I was really hoping they would get a Grand Slam.
Yeah, I kind of was.
They don't have a Grand... I don't know if they have a word for it, but a Grand Slam.
No, I don't want them to have a word.
I'm glad Argentina won.
Oh, me too. I love Argentina.
It was an exciting game.
I fucking love Argentina. Yeah.
And Argentina, to put more credit on them too for this game, they tried to lose this game.
They tried very hard to give that game South Africa.
They fucking didn't want it. They were trying really hard at the end. Fuck, man, they are so frustrated.
They're brutal, aren't they?
Their discipline, when they get desperate, when they get put on the back foot, their discipline goes fucking right out the door.
What's crazy about them is
it's bad. It's not like, that's
it's so preventable. It's so preventable.
Fucking guys, like playing the ball off the ground, or like deliberately like hands in the rock. Yeah. They look at the ref and they still
they
put
do
their
it
hands,
anyway. And he's pointing. I'm going, stop it. I'm giving you one and stop it. And they're like a little baby pushing the fucking glass. Yeah, why did you do that?
Yeah, like a cat.
Yeah, like a cat being like tapping shit off the table. Like, why'd you do that? I told you not to.
He's like embracing the ref's eyes like it's the fucking Notebook, and he's still putting his slide, and he's slowly sliding his hands into the rock.
Stop. I'm gonna call it. And he's like, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, like it's avoidable shit.
Yeah. But what I love about them is they'll give away 10 penalties, and in that meantime, they'll have still scored 3 tries. They don't give a shit. You give them the ball for a second, they'll still score.
Man, they're smooth. When they get going, they are like awesome to watch.
It's like a fucking sports car, isn't it? It's beautiful. Just engine humming.
They are a good team. They do have a lot of they make a lot of handling errors.
Yeah.
They cough the ball up a ton.
Yeah. But they try things though, don't they? They're not afraid to try.
They're kind of like Australia. I would say the two offenses, like the two offenses from the two countries, like they play, like they take high risks.
Yeah.
But they're good.
They are good. What is very impressive about Argentina is despite having no professional side, they can play an all-court game. They'll beat you physically. They'll beat you at the breakdown. They'll beat you with their backs. They can do anything if they want to.
Let's talk about that. I want to talk about that because
we talk about it like every other week, but I'm into it.
Bad that they need something somewhere. They need a home somewhere.
I think wasn't the talk about giving them a home in France, like they would be based in France?
I don't know, but they
need Italy or something.
They deserve something.
They deserve a home.
And can we make the argument now that they should get the Lions tour?
We've made that argument, but we'll make it again.
Like this,
they deserve a Lions tour.
What more proof do you need? You just beat the two best teams in the world.
Yeah,
they've done it. They've done it often now.
But they also lost to Australia a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, they beat them.
But they also lost to them.
The All Blacks almost lost to them.
Yeah, and yeah.
So I would say, I think it's time.
It definitely is. I wouldn't be surprised if the way the Lions tour scheduled goes, I think it changes because I don't know. I feel like we've talked about that a lot. I don't want to get, but I agree with you though.
North America tour. You make your way down. You do a little tour down to Argentina. You make a lot of money along the way.
You know, there's like adopt a dog websites, and there's like, get this dog. He needs no cats in the house. He's got a strong prey instinct. Be careful. That's Argentina. They're on a website somewhere being like, can someone adopt them and give them a professional club team somewhere? Look at them. Look at their little eyes.
It's just their location. They're just so isolated from the rest of the rugby world.
Yeah.
All the rugby hotbeds, they're far away from.
All the good ones, yeah.
Yeah, their best bet is to create something there.
I was surprised when they let South Africa into Europe because that's geographically miles away. So why not Argentina? It's not that much more.
Yeah, the only thing that makes sense is time zone wise for them.
Yeah, that is a significant difference.
The time zone, you can have regular games on regular times over there. Yeah,
that's true.
So that's the only thing that goes with them. Yeah. It's like when you're playing far apart. The time zones when you're going east to west, the time zones are all fucked. Yeah. When we're just going north to south,
it's not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
In fact, it's nothing really.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a long flight.
That's the only thing. Yeah, it is a long flight. It's a long.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say about this game?
I mean, I think the things I'm going to say are things I've already said about both teams. They're more just like general statements about both sides. I think it's good for the Rugby Championship because I haven't always been the biggest fan of it because it is lopsided. It's always just New Zealand. So it's amazing that it's now competitive, but it is at the expense of teams getting worse in the case of New Zealand and Australia rather than teams getting better in the case of Argentina and South Africa.
Yeah, it's not that. Well, the teams are getting better. Like
Argentina's standards has improved. This is the first year Argentina have beaten all 3 other teams, which is incredible, right? If you had dropped Italy into the Rugby Championship, could you say the same thing?
No, they would lose every game.
They would because we've given them a chance. Comparatively, Ireland, England, Wales, Scotland are worse overall than South Africa and New Zealand, right? So we have the evidence to say that's not true. They couldn't even beat worse teams. How the hell would they beat better teams regularly? Argentina have done that despite having nowhere near the resources that Italy have got.
When you compare the two nations, Italy's a fucking embarrassment.
Or Argentina are a miracle, right? Like one or the other is true.
Regardless if they're a miracle or not, it still looks bad on Italy.
It does. It makes Italy look bad.
Italy has everything at their fingertips.
Yeah.
They should be way better than they are.
Yeah.
And there's just no excuse when you have nations like Argentina doing what they do. Like they beat 3 World Cup winners in this rugby
in a calendar year. Yeah,
yeah,
it's very impressive.
So that's super impressive. Italy would just get fucking annihilated.
Yeah, you would never say Italy beat the All Blacks at home, would you?
No,
this just wouldn't fucking happen.
Never happen.
Not in this century. Yeah. So that's all I've got to say about it. Fair play to Argentina. South Africa, I think I'd be a bit upset, but they're still fine. They're still fine, but I think they'd be a bit pissed off because this is the year they're supposed to just dominate everybody. We want to talk about Manny Lebok, though, don't we? Because we feel bad for little Manny. Little Manny?
Oh, Manny Lebok.
I love him as... Okay, here's the thing, and you've said this as well. He is good at every single thing. He's very fucking good at a lot of things. Mm-hmm. He's just not a good place kicker.
No.
And it shouldn't really be his fault because right at the end of that game, Argentina have a line out in South Africa's 22. They're winning. All they got to do is secure the line out, drive in a maul, or even if they don't do that, just keep on to the ball for a couple minutes. But Etzebeth steals it. Manny Lebok does a lot of hard work to get South Africa into a good position to win the game, and he just misses the kick. He does a lot of the hard work to get them there, basically after they already lost the game. So it's hard to hold him at fault, but you can't have him on the field if he can't kick from the place, because you've got Pollard and you've got Sasha Feinberg-Gomezulu coming back.
When it comes to doing his 10 role, when it comes to playing a fly half, he's one of the best.
He definitely is. He just can't place kick.
He is interchangeable with Pollard in my eyes.
I think he's better with the ball than Pollard at times.
I would make and defensively he's just as good.
Yeah, and he's a big man and he's fast, right? He's got everything.
His open field kicking too is spot on.
Yeah, it's only his place kicking.
He could put that ball on the field wherever he wants.
Yeah.
But when he place kicks, it's not his.
It must be a confidence thing, right? Because everything else he does is very, very good. Yeah, I feel bad for the guy.
Something he just can't. Everyone's got something they just can't. But it's sometimes I feel like it's just a lot of pressure for the 10.
It definitely is.
You have to be the kicker too.
Yeah, to win games. Because
it's such two different roles. You could be because it's sad because Manny Lebok is this great fly half. He's probably going to end up not. They have other guys. South Africa has other guys, so you're going to see Manny Lebok probably move up. He'll probably play for Munster.
Well, he's still the Stormers.
Or he'll get signed for Ulster or something like that in the future.
But he's with the Stormers. Yeah. The Stormers are a very good team. He's just going to play a lot more Stormers, do very well. He'll get another call up in a year. Everyone will remember he's not a good place kicker, or hopefully he's improved and he makes that kick and everyone loves him. I fucking love the guy. He's a class player, but you do feel bad for him. But my point is, you shouldn't blame him for that loss because he's the one that got them back into a winning position. Mm-hmm. Just missed the fucking kick. Yeah. So it's not really his fault,
Yeah, I don't want people to think he's a bad because the kicking puts too much
emphasis.
Yeah, on it's not him.
No. No, it's not him.
Yeah, he's not the greatest kicker, but he is an amazing rugby player.
Yeah, in the same breath though, if you can't make his place kicks in that situation, you don't pick him at 10. As simple as that, because you have to kick. Yeah, you have to make kicks.
It's just unfortunate that the Box don't have another kicker on the field that they trust.
It's like I said to you though, you can't at international level you can't play like that. It doesn't work. If your 10 is on the field, he's your guy who kicks because everyone else has a very specific job to do, right?
Unless you're
unless it's halfpenny situation where he's metronomic,
or Boffelli or Thomas Ramos or I guess Thomas Ramos plays.
But my point is, you wouldn't bring on a 15 because he's good at kicking to make up for the box deficiency. Your 15 first and foremost needs to be a good 15, right?
Didn't the Wallabies have a lock that kicked?
I don't.
Or the Springboks?
Maybe.
I swear one of them had
recently?
No, this had been in the 90s or the early 2000s.
I wouldn't be surprised in those days, yeah.
Yeah, there was a lock that did the kicking. I swear Wallabies had a lock that kicked for them for a while.
Probably. I mean, this is the days gone by though, isn't it? This is not modern rugby. But yeah, I would not be surprised.
And I know the South Africa had a center that kicked for them for a long time.
I mean, that's not unusual because Farrell plays center, doesn't he? That's not unusual.
But he's a 10 mostly.
Yeah,
only for England.
He wants to be. Yeah.
And only for Eddie Jones's weird experiments.
Yeah.
Little lab experiments.
Yeah, little Frankenstein monsters he makes.
All right, well, let's get on to what do you want to talk about? Prem or URC?
I'm at the buffet. I've got my plate. Spoilt for choice. What do I go for, Steve? You tell me.
Do you want to?
Because if we talk about the USC, we're going to be here for a while. We're getting stuck in.
Well, let's go into the Premiership, your favorite league, your heroes, the English.
No, they've let me down now. They've let me down. I was all ready to be flag flying for the most exciting league in the world again. It was boring. We just watched Sale Harlequins.
That's
shit. Oh, shit game of rugby. I haven't got anything else to say. Halfpenny missed a kick. What's old man Halfpenny doing?
People just think he's gonna bring an X factor or something. They want him for. I don't know what they see. Like he's just past. His prime.
The guy, but he's past his prime. You don't start Lee Halfpenny in your opening game of the season.
They're like, oh, he's gonna bring experience to the team. What?
He's reliable, but if he's not making his kicks, he
looks sick.
He
looks ill.
He's lost a lot of weight. Yeah, they've got him doing fitness for sure.
He did make that one kick at the end. That was pretty sick.
We made a couple, but to miss that first one was like. That's what you buy him for.
Well, let's go through these games. What do we got here? On Friday, we had Bath.
Yeah.
Beat Northampton.
That's a big deal.
Didn't I say Northampton? I was worried about Northampton.
Yeah, you did, because you said, they're losing some players, losing Courtney Laws, etc., is going to affect them. Yeah, it will. I still think they could win the Prem, though. They've still got some very good quality.
And this was a bit of a hammering, 38-16.
Yeah. Yeah, and for opening games this season can be a bit sloppy and one-sided.
Trying to figure out combinations.
Yeah, and there's a bit of everyone's been on holiday and all that, so I'm not reading too much into it, but good for Bath. I'm not a big Bath fan though.
No, I ain't either.
No,
there's just something. Bath and Sale are kind of interchangeable.
They are just sort of.
Aren't they kind of like the same club?
They are a bit, just sort of a little bit of a blue team, and
there's just like
a bit lacking identity on the field sometimes.
Like they're just like a cardboard box. Like there's just nothing exciting.
They spend a lot of money and nothing really comes of it. So I don't know. Maybe
because they're both blue.
And they're not even proper blue. Do you know what I mean? They're like they flirt with blue. It's mostly blue.
Like George Ford plays for both teams, doesn't he?
He has played for both. Yeah,
I know he has, but I feel like he plays at the same time. For both
he does.
They're so interchangeable.
Yeah, no one would notice if he did. That's harsh because I know there's a lot of diehard Bath fans out there. So I don't think there's that
many. Did you watch this game at all? Did you look at it?
No, I didn't actually. The only Gallagher Prem game I watched, which was definitely the worst one, was with Quinns and Sale. So could be that Saracens Gloucester was an absolute belter of a game, and now slagged off the league for no reason.
Because Bath look sharp.
Yeah, people are saying they're going to win.
And Finn Russell looked good.
Yeah.
He was not in a test match, so he was just in his element. He can relax.
Loving life, yeah.
He can relax. He can let his shoulders loose.
Yeah. He's just throwing offloads from everywhere.
He's a club 10. He's one of the best club.
Maybe the best club 10.
Maybe the best club 10 in the world.
Yeah.
But when you put him at test level, unless
he's playing England.
The pressure and the speed picks up way too much.
Yeah.
But this is perfect. The club level, high level club, Prem.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Next game, I was kind of let down by this game. Bristol 24, Newcastle 3.
Everyone was sort of talking up Newcastle like they do with the Dragons every year. Like, no, they'll get a bit better. No one wants them to be good because they still want to beat them.
I guess that was better.
But people keep saying they're going to be better this season. What's your evidence?
I was expecting more. I was expecting them to just to have a game. I was expecting maybe like a 20-10 kind of game. But they just got kind of fucking.
I mean, don't insult Bristol's intelligence by making out that they can't beat Newcastle, who are crap.
Like I guess at halftime it was like 3-5, but that was it. Like they just got a kick and like at the beginning of the game or like right at halftime, and then that was it. So
poor Bristol, eh? Getting slagged off by you.
No, I'm talking about the Falcons.
Oh, no one cares about the Falcons.
Like Newcastle Falcons.
What I'm saying, you should be hyping up Bristol for an amazing victory.
Yeah, I just was. I kind of believed the media hype. I fell for the media hype for the Falcons. I wanted Newcastle.
And it wasn't even that strong. It was a few people going, "Oh, don't worry, they'll get a bit better," and they haven't yet. It's only one game, but no evidence.
Exeter, Leicester.
I watched a good chunk of this game, I should say. What can I say about it? It was a good game, actually. I'll say that it was a good game from what I saw. Like it was tight, it was competitive. Both teams played like strong teams as well. They both clearly wanted to win.
This is Michael Cheka's first win.
Yeah.
In the Prem.
And it was close as well. And Exeter, this is, like you've been saying, this is the year they get better. There were definitely signs of that. They looked physical. They looked, they're historically physical. But some of their kind of young pup, they've got a lot of these big guys who are in like 19 years old. They've got huge frames, not a lot of meat on them. A lot of these guys have filled out. Christ Chunza looked really good and physical. So Leicester and Exeter, this was a good physical matchup, and it was a tight game. I did enjoy watching it. So I kind of like Exeter more because it's like It's like the mini Welsh Academy over there. Joe Hawkins, who Welsh exile, as much as he's a big guy, can't seem to use his size effectively either. So there's still some learning to do. I think Exeter will be top 4, but looking at Leicester, I think they could win it as well. They could win the Prem.
Right now, I got Bath. I got Bath, and I got Exeter. I feel like Exeter are going to come out of their shells in this season.
Yeah, me too. I think Bath, Exeter, Quins, and probably Northampton again. Although, yeah, I think that's about right.
Gloucester, 26. Saracens, 35.
Yeah, I know nothing about this game at all. I'm sure it happened.
I wanted to watch this game to see what Gloucester kind of like brought out in the off season.
I have a bit of a soft spot for them because they always make some really exciting, not necessarily the biggest signings, but definitely exciting signings. Lewis Rees-Zammit when he was there was really good as well.
Didn't they sign? What's his name?
Zach Mercer's back.
Is he back?
I think he's at Gloucester, isn't he?
No, I thought he went to France.
I think he came home.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't watch this game. I don't know if he played or not, but I know
Christian Wade.
Christian Wade's back.
Christian Wade is back.
The home of NFL exiles, Gloucester Rugby. Yeah, I love Christian Wade as well. I'm surprised he didn't get more England caps. That guy was electric on his day. He could really fucking move. But I didn't fucking watch it, so I've got nothing really that I want to,
I just wanted to see what the Saracens were going to bring to the table, and they looked good.
Yeah, well, they won.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I got. Gallagher Prem let me down based on one game that I did watch.
And the game of games.
Yeah.
Sale, 12. Harlequins 11.
Whew, what a nail biter.
Kind of like just a lack of, there was just no offensive spark.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened in that game.
They're just tackling the shit out of each other.
It was just, it wasn't even like there was a lot of handling mistakes.
No.
They just cancelled each other out to the point where no rugby really happened.
It was like a black hole.
It was a black hole of
they were
rugby.
Just sucking all the fun.
I was staring at the TV and it was just this vague blur.
Yeah, that's what it was
is
like,
rugby happening? Like,
it was kind of rainy too.
It's just
that wasn't helping.
No, it's like this light. There's when it's really windy, you accept it. You were ready for a strong wind. This was like one of those light winds. That's just the constant, like, just fuck off, leave me alone.
I love it when they brought on Marcus Smith.
Yeah,
and everyone's like cheering. He's like smiling.
Okay, now we're going. Now we're going.
We're gonna. Yeah, he's like
now it's gonna get exciting.
Hands together, like they're gonna fucking spice it up. Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna throw
slicking his hair back.
Yeah, I'm throwing chili pepper all over this fucking thing, and then nothing happens.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah,
it just stays the same.
Yeah, it's just one of those little crappy single fireworks.
They're like, oh, here we go. We got a game now. Marcus Smith. He's like, yeah.
Bring on the X Factor, baby. No, nothing. Boring. Did nothing. Yeah.
Let's just do like while we're here. Let's just do some predictions on the games real quick here.
Okay.
Next week, Bristol, Gloucester.
Oh, Bristol.
Yeah, Bristol for sure.
Yeah.
Newcastle's at Harlequins.
Do you need to ask?
Falcons.
Okay.
Newcastle.
Weird.
Harlequins.
Okay.
Saracens. Sale.
Everyone keeps bigging up Sale like they're gonna do something. I'm going Saracens.
I'm gonna go Saracens too.
Yeah.
Northampton, Exeter.
Ooh, I want to watch that game. I'm going to say Exeter.
I'm going to go Exeter too. They're in Northampton.
Still going Exeter.
Away from home.
Okay.
Leicester, Bath. Isn't this like a kind of a thing game? Like, don't these two teams fucking hate each other?
There's a rivalry, I guess. Yeah. That'll be a good game to watch, though.
I'm going to go Leicester for this one.
Yeah, me too. I love Michael Cheika.
I'm feeling the Michael Cheika spice on this one.
Yeah, me too. I like some Michael Cheika. Let's go Leicester.
All right. URC.
Thank you. Fucking hell. Asking me for predictions. Like just tickling my balls. Like, should we do some Gallagher Prem predictions?
Last year you were just like Prem.
Can we predict the Gallagher Prem, please, Frank?
That was you last year.
That was you right now.
Yeah, because we
I don't give
just
a
going
fuck.
through it first.
I don't fucking care.
Oh, now you're all changed.
Yeah, I am changed. I watched one game and it let me down. I'm over it. Fuck that. Let's talk about real rugby. Real rugby's back.
You loved shitting on the URC.
I did.
Last season.
I did.
It was your you came in every Sunday morning. Let a man
evolve, okay, Steve? We're not rigid in our personalities here.
Shit on this league. Okay, all I want from you.
We're back. Real rugby.
All I want from you right now is an apology.
No.
To the URC.
Get fucked. Think times have changed, old man.
The best league in the world. The best rugby competition. All right. Friday's games. Cardiff versus Zebre.
Oh, I'm home. Do you know who's top of the league right now? The once and future Challenge Cup champions, Cardiff Rugby. Back where we belong.
How do you feel?
Glorious.
How'd you feel?
The weather's different up here. Looking down at you fucking peasants in the slums.
Well, let's talk about the news in that game. Let's talk about the main story. I think the main story is, how did you feel about Callum Sheedy?
Well, he got man of the match.
Shitty?
No, I thought he was okay. Like, he wasn't as good as he could have been, but he got man of the match. It was weird because I don't think he was the best player on the field, actually. But he played okay. His post-match interview was really good because what Cardiff did was they got their bonus try, 4 tries pretty quickly. Like, this looked like a comfortable win in front of a decent home crowd. And I thought, yeah, Zebra aren't up to much, but we should have won this game. And we do slip on banana peels, and we had 11 losing bonus points last season. We have to convert some of those losses into wins. So we started on a good note. Having said that, we let Zebra back into the game quite late on, and we started to get a bit sloppy.
Depth thing.
It's
the bench coming on.
Yeah, but the thing is now we do have a bit more depth, but we have some significant injuries still. Falatau's injured. Tom Young's injured. Thomas Young is one of the best flankers in the fucking URC. And when he plays, Cardiff fucking win, and Cardiff play well, right? So we've still got some significant injuries, but the boys who played were class. But they know what they need to work on. That's what I was impressed with Callum Sheedy. In the post-match interview, he was like, we need to work on our discipline. We need to work on our game management. And he knows how to do that at Bristol. He's bringing that experience. So I don't even think they'll get to top 4, right? I just want to see them win some of those close games, and I think they'll do that this season.
I was switching in and out of this game at work, and every time I switched back on, it was Callum Sheedy missing a kick.
Yeah, he didn't miss every kick, but like, he missed a couple, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, God.
Yeah.
I was like, I think he missed 2. I think he only missed 2.
Missed 2, yes.
But I was like, Jesus.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It didn't feel like a big deal at the time because we were already hammering them, right? Like, we were 4 tries up or whatever, so it didn't feel... And then Tynus De Beer came on. Here comes the money.
What time did he come on at?
Ooh, 60? Is it 70? Kind of late. But when he came on, like, I just felt... I felt like... I just felt at home again.
Fire?
He broke 4 tackles at one point. He got the ball, just barreled through 4 guys. He's a monster. I love him.
Came on the 65th minute.
Yeah, he's a fucking monster. He just barreled through 4 guys, like, absolute dancing through him. Loved it.
I love him.
Me too. Best Wish.com purchase ever. Fucking love Tynus De Beer. So yeah, I'm reasonably happy with Cardiff. They know what they need to work on. They're not going to beat Munster, Leinster, Stormers at home, but they'll have a decent season.
Let's talk about your favorite team, Leinster.
My favorite ever team, the fucking choke artists. What can you say?
Choke artists.
What can you say? Spend all the money in the world, have the best academy in the world, scraped by Edinburgh.
Yeah, they put on some. They
sounded like
this
a good
team.
game,
This
though.
team they put on was a mix.
Yeah.
I think they're still trying to. I don't think Leicester's kind of like fully figured out.
If they haven't fully figured it out yet, what the fuck are they doing?
I think they got a lot of players.
Yeah.
They got a huge club.
And they're waiting for one of the Barretts and RG Snyman to come in.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. When you look at this team.
It's the island team.
Yeah, but when you look at Edinburgh.
Oh, yeah. Actually, Edinburgh's got a stacked team.
They got a fucking Pierre Schumann.
Yeah.
Fucking Grant Gilchrist, Jamie Ritchie, Hamish Watson.
Yeah.
Ali Price.
Duhan. They're very
Darcy
good at
Graham. Like they got
Darcy Graham's back.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's class. Yeah, they got a hell of a team.
Budget Vandermeer and Wes Goosen. Like they have like fucking like they got a good team.
They do have a very good team. Yeah.
And
Ben Healy at 10. People don't like him. I think he's all right.
Yeah, he didn't start.
No, he didn't.
But he came in at 56 minutes.
Yeah.
This team is good on paper.
You tell me about this game though. I didn't watch a lot of it. I must say, I only watched about 10 minutes.
It was just a mismatch of like fucking like Leinster just like fucking up a lot.
Oh, that's not like them.
Yeah, there are some positives. Like, man, what's his name? Prendergast or Pendergast?
Sam Prendergast.
It's Prendergast. I always like Pender or Prender.
Yeah, I think it's Prendergast.
This kid.
Yeah.
This kid's gonna be a star.
You say that about every Irish 10.
No, this kid is.
I agree. He's very good.
This kid's got X factor.
He's got training panelist material.
He's like something that's like like a lot of the 10s that are coming out of Ireland are kind of George Fordy.
Yeah.
This guy is like Finn Russell-y.
Yeah, Prendergast. That's why I was excited for
Finn Russell-ish. Not George. This is how we scale it. You scale it from.
Yeah, and it's not a bad to good either, is it? It's a different ability.
Yes.
I always say you've got like your Sextons, your Dan Bigars on one side, your George Fords, your General 10s.
Yeah.
And then you've got your Quaid Coopers, your Manny LeBox. Marcus Smith is a better one. Finn Russell on the other end. It's sexy versus practical.
Where would you put Richie Mo'unga?
More sexy.
He's kind of like
he's in the middle, but slightly more towards running 10.
Yeah, he's a liberal. He just gets right in the center.
He's a centrist.
Yeah, he's a centrist. Like he's kind of
can see both sides. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I kind of put it. He's kind of almost a perfect mix of the two.
Yeah, but Prendergast is definitely a running 10, which Ireland don't produce so many of. He
plays right up to the line.
Yeah.
Oh man, some of his like.
And he runs straight as well. Like he's upright, which I like about him.
And when he puts that boot to the ball, he can put that ball in some good good spots.
He's very young as well, so he's already got a decent toolkit for a young player.
And he's playing for a really good club. They got great coaching.
Yeah.
I can see like when you're watching this game, he's just he's all over the field.
Yeah.
He's working.
Yeah.
He can kick. He's a great kicker also, like off the tee.
Think of that Ireland pecking order though. Like you got not just at Leinster but in Ireland.
I think it's gotten a lot smaller.
Really?
That Irish pecking order is small now.
No way.
Yeah, you got Crowley.
Yeah.
And I think now you got Frawley.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Kieran Frawley.
You can't forget about Ross Byrne either.
No, I think Ross Byrne's on the outs. He's always been the fringe. He's always been the guy that they had to rely on because they had no one else.
What happened to Jack Carty as well? Didn't he just declare he was off to France because he was sick of waiting around?
No, I think he's still at Connacht, isn't he?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know.
These are your guys. Anyway, point is like, he's not going to beat Jack Crowley for the Ireland 10 jersey anytime soon. And I don't even think he's on the bench.
I don't know.
Because I think you have Frawley on the bench over him because Frawley can cover fullback.
He's going to play an Ireland game.
Oh, 100%. Sorry, you're talking about Prendergast.
Yeah, Prendergast in 2025 will play for Ireland. He's going to play at a test match somewhere.
Okay, maybe I agree with that. I just don't think he's going to start unless there's some injuries.
Yeah, I don't think he will start.
Okay.
And I think the battle between
Jack
Crowley and Frawley.
There's so many weird, like, phonetically similar names going on over there. It's annoying, isn't it?
Because like the country, it's just the name stuff.
The Jack Crowleys and the Kieran Frawleys and the Cartys and the.
They should just name all one name like they do in Wales.
Yeah.
Reese.
Yeah, and then give them funny nicknames so that we remember. Call people like Liam Williams Sanjay and Ken Owens the Sheriff. Yeah.
So I would say that the pecking order for the 10s is like people thought it was like this huge, like we had like there was 1 million 10s in Ireland. There's really like I would say those three are the top.
Yeah,
those are going to be the top three, and I think you're right. Crowley's probably got that position.
Oh, it's his.
He's probably got that position, but yeah, let's go on to the next games.
You don't want to tell me more about Edinburgh Leinster?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
Because we got a lot of games to go through.
Yeah, you're right. Rugby's back.
We can't just spend 20 minutes on pre games. All right, here we
go.
That's
true.
Here we go. Dragons, Ospreys.
I did watch this game.
23-21.
A part of me is like, Ospreys are the hope of Welsh rugby, so they need to win every game. And they did enough to win this game. They just took their foot off the gas a bit at the end, and then Dragons managed to put phases together. I've never seen the Dragons put phases together. And they just clawed their way back in. And their last try was well worked. They were on the try line for a couple minutes, and they got it over. I've never seen that. So the Dragons have got a bit of gristle to them now. They are also the bogey team for the Ospreys. The Ospreys just don't know how to beat the fucking Dragons, apparently. So, I don't know what I'll say about that. Toby Booth leaving the Ospreys, maybe that hangover's starting to set in already. Like, that's a huge loss. It's a huge loss. For me, he's the best coach in the URC. To the resource he's working with to get the Ospreys to where they were last year was fucking miraculous. So they're getting rid of him, and he's like, I want other opportunities. Basically, they're saying they can't afford him because now his stock has gone up so much. He knows he can get a lot more money. Fair play to him. It's it's his career, but that's just such a sad reflection of what's going on in Wales right now. We can't keep quality, and that maybe is affecting the Ospreys already. Too early to tell. Good for the Dragons though. Like, they played all right. Didn't deserve to win it for most of the game, but they did.
Munster 35, Connacht 33.
I watched the highlights. This sounded like the game of the weekend.
There was like...
Or just no one defended. I don't know. I heard there was a lot of missed tackles.
I think this shows that Connacht is not a developing team.
That's been the case since they won the thing many years ago, though. They lost that. They're not a development team. Not since 10 years ago.
Like, Connacht can step it up.
Yeah. And is it Josh Ioane had a really good game?
Josh, who I thought was Josh.
You thought he was
Umaga.
You thought he was one of the Umaga boys, didn't you?
Yeah, I was so confused.
No, this guy's pure Kiwi.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm pretty sure this guy's English. And he's,
yeah.
I think this is the story. Like Connacht, also they have a depth problem too.
Oh yeah.
I think they were like just a few bench people away from winning this game.
A Munster, when everyone's fit, don't have a depth problem.
No,
they have got a very good squad.
They've always had a good, solid, not the best team, but they always had a good team.
Yeah,
like this team could come and they could win.
Yeah, I don't think Munster will fear playing away from home at all this season. They've got, they're URC champions a couple of years ago. They've got a very good squad. Munster's problem seems to be a couple banana skins and some bad luck with injuries last couple of years.
Oh, they were plagued. The last couple of years they were plagued. If they can keep a healthy, squad.
Yeah.
Then, they will be.
I think they'll be top 4. Yeah, I'd love to see Gavin Coombs get a bit more island time as well, because
I don't know what he has to do.
I think you got to play for
Leinster. He even
Leinster.
scored a try.
You got to play for Leinster.
But everyone scored a try in this game.
Yeah. There's a lot of try scoring going on.
It's just, I don't know. Even having they had Billy Burns start his first game.
Apparently he played well.
Yeah, I didn't watch the game. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
What an odd signing.
It's like Lee Halfpenny at Harlequins. It's like, why? Why is he just there for injury cover?
It's kind of a Lee Halfpenny kind of thing.
It probably is to cover.
Is he just way better than I know?
He's not a bad player.
No,
but I think he's cover for Jack Crowley when he inevitably goes on island duty, isn't he? That's what it is.
Yeah, and they had a lot of Jean Klein he's healthy. He's played this game.
Right.
So I don't. They're looking. I think if they can stay healthy, if they can keep their players from going to the hospital all the time and dying and stuff,
or just burning themselves on barbecues and things,
Yeah,
no barbecues, lads.
So I'd put that up there. But and Connacht looks pretty good, pretty sharp. I think they're going to take some scalps.
Yeah,
this year too. Having 4 strong Ireland squads is can almost disrupt the whole league.
I think I thought that would have been the case last year. Ireland's 4 regions, provinces, are always going to be good, right? They've got the resources and the squads to do it. I was surprised by Ulster and Connacht not quite getting over the line last year. The games that mattered, they didn't win. The games that really mattered, they need to beat Leinster and Munster every now and again. It just doesn't happen often enough, right? I didn't think Ulster or Connacht made enough good signings, actually, to kind of kick on this year. But having said that, Connacht looked good yesterday, and Ulster beat the fucking champions. Mm-hmm. Speaking of the next game on my list here, Ulster-Glasgow. I don't know how Glasgow... I watched highlights for this. Looked like Glasgow were playing way better rugby. I don't know how Ulster won it, but they fucking did. So
Ulster's one of those teams that are just they're not absolutely terrible, but if you let your foot off the gas pedal on them, they'll take a scalp.
They will. They remind me a lot of Cardiff, actually. Their attack is beautiful, but they're their own worst enemy a lot of the time. But I haven't said that, they won a game, so
it's kind of anticlimactic. Like Glasgow coming into the new season champions and then lose it by 1 point.
Yeah, it is. If you want to win again, if you want to establish a dynasty, you've got to be ruthless, right?
I wouldn't put losing to Ulster is not oh my god, he lost to...
No, it's not the end of the world, but you're the champions. You should expect to win the majority of your games.
It's not like they lost to a Welsh team or something like that. It's like they lost to Ulster, a decent team.
You can't hurt me anymore, Steve. Can't hurt me. And then speaking of shit Welsh teams, Scarlets Benetton. How the times have changed, eh? No one expected Scarlets to come close to beating, let's remember, playoff team.
Yeah, but let's remember it's Benetton.
Who made the playoffs last year.
Yeah, but it's still...
The Rainbow Cup holders.
It wasn't too long ago that this team was a shit team.
When were they shit?
Benetton?
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Exactly. That's a long time.
That's not a long time ago.
It's long enough for... No one should think Benetton is shit anymore. No one should be saying Benetton are a bad team.
And in that 5 years, you weren't putting your money on Benetton.
You were if it was the Rainbow Cup.
If you were the Rainbow Cup.
They fucking won it.
They fucking won that Rainbow Cup.
Only beat the Stormers. No big deal.
Did you watch this game at all?
No, I didn't.
I tell you, we need the red zone for rugby.
I mean, the thing is, though, yeah, that wouldn't be bad, but they are spaced out sensibly, and there's not that many teams compared to the NFL. I would love the red zone, right? All the games. But the thing is, we're not riddled with commercials either. I have to jump between games to see what's going on. Like I said, I only watched a bit of the Leinster-Edinburgh game. I'm a Cardiff fan. I'm not going to watch that game, but I would like to watch Leinster-Edinburgh because I know it's going to be a high-quality game, right? But I can't do it. It's not possible, you know? So the same with a lot of these games. They're played at the same time. And in the NFL, their schedule's so fucking weird. Don't they play like Thursday, Sunday, and Monday?
Yeah.
Don't people want to have a drink? Why would you not play the games on the days that you can not work and have a beer?
Because that's primetime TV.
What the fuck?
Now you got to compete with TGIF.
What are you talking about?
You got to compete with Full House.
What the fuck are you on about? Just put the football that everyone likes.
I don't know why.
So weird.
If you looked into it, there's probably legit
I'm sure
reasons.
there is. I'm not sure it's a legit reason. I'm sure there's a reason. I'm sure it's
no
a stupid
one's doing
reason.
anything on a Monday night. No one's doing anything on a Thursday night. And Sunday is like a day of rest where you just sit at home and you watch football.
It's bizarre to me.
There's nothing going on a Monday night.
Friday night, got off work, go down the rugby.
Yeah, but there's just too
pints.
much to compete with on a Friday night. There's too much other things to compete with.
That's a if you're not watching your
the United States, there's a million things going on in every city on a Friday night.
Yeah, but you should be concerned about your sport. Like if you're a sport guy, you don't care about Saturday Night Live. I don't want to see Bill Hader doing impressions.
It probably saves marriages.
How so?
Because if there was football every Friday and Saturday night, there'd be so many guys that would just be every Friday, Saturday night watching football.
That's literally the UK, actually.
See, they have to do it for their birth rates. Right? Because the guys
They're trying to compete with China over here. They got to have babies.
They got to have babies. So if they're putting games on at Friday, Saturday, they're not going on dates.
Yeah.
They're not hanging out with their spouses.
Yeah.
They're hanging out with the boys, eating pork rinds, and watching football.
It's like when you know you're a wife who knows her husband is like playing Dungeons and Dragons. Is like, he's not cheating on me. He's pretending to be a wizard right now. He's fine.
Is there anything surprising about Scarlett's Benetton?
Yeah, that Scarlets drew. No one expected them to win that. Their defense, Scarlet's defense looked massively improved because they were just leaky last year. I think they've got a new defense guy and he's doing some work, obviously, immediately. There's potential in the Scarlets. There's potential. Like they were that bad last season was a bit surprising. I'm not expecting them to be even top 6, but they should win about at least a third of their games, you know? So this is a good start because Benetton are not a bad team, you know?
What I noticed about the URC this weekend,
very close,
was the scores.
And you know what? All of those matchups are reasonably competitive matchups.
22-17.
Yeah.
33-31.
Yeah.
23-21.
Yeah.
35-33. 2020. 2019.
0 hammerings.
The biggest difference in score in all these games was 4 points.
And that was Cardiff Zebra, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was 5 points, I think, but yeah.
Yeah, 5 points. Sorry, yeah. So 5 points. Like that is...
That's good.
That looks good.
And you know me, the reason I loved the Gallagher Prem last year, because every game was close. I want a competitive league. You give me a competitive league, I don't give a fuck who it is. If that's the case this year, I'm a URC guy again.
Yeah, you've
won me back.
Yeah, because you go over the Prem 38-16, 24-3.
Yeah.
You know, the only close game was Chiefs and Leicester 17-14.
And let's not forget the Gallagher Prem was close last year because 3 teams had folded. They're condensing their talent into a smaller pool, right? The URC is getting better. Even these shithouse Welsh teams are slowly improving, right? Don't forget, though, none of the South African teams played this weekend. If you'd had Dragons against the Bulls, it would be a different story. If you'd had Zebra against Leinster, it'd be a different story. A lot of those matchups were suited matchups, right?
I think for the first, because they've been in... what is it? Is this the third season, or this is the third season that they're in, or
of the URC with the South Africans?
Yeah,
yeah. It depends if that COVID season counts. I think it's
the Rainbow
3 or
Cup,
4.
the Rainbow Cup with the Cheetahs and the Lions.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll count that. We'll throw that in.
Okay, so I think it's 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's at least 4 or 5. I think the teams are learning how to travel down there now. I think at first it was kind of very disrupting.
I think that head game is gone. That head game, you're at altitude now, it means something. It's like, no, we're going to come play you.
And I think the logistics and the strategy of going down there to play, like teams are becoming like they're getting smarter at knowing how to go down there and play.
I like one thing and
I think it's the same thing for South African clubs going up to the Northern Hemisphere too.
Yeah, because they don't travel well, actually, do they?
No, they
don't travel well. They don't.
So they're getting used to it too.
Yeah.
So I think there was just some growing pains.
Yeah.
With all that travel, that extra travel.
Yeah.
And but as you see, when Glasgow went down there and did that job, like the teams are getting used to going down there.
That's a good thing. Again, it's not something I wanted to get used to, but you're right. Now we're getting used to it. It is building a good product. What I like is that they treat it like a tour. It's not like we're going down to play the Bulls. We're going down. We're having a fun 3-week game. We put a lot of focus into training to play 3 South African teams in South Africa. They go out and they see on a safari. They have a great time. It's good, right?
And it cuts down the travel.
Yeah, totally.
It's not doing one-offs.
No, you couldn't be flying back and forth every time. Right? Which would be ridiculous.
The clubs go down there. They tour.
Yeah.
They do the tour, and I think that's the right way to do it.
Totally, yeah. Right? And it must be fun for those young rugby players to go to South Africa, right?
And then the same thing for the South African clubs to come up.
Yeah, sure.
To the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
So I think it's just
it's getting there, isn't it?
It's getting there. It's getting there. I think the travel is going to be less of a thing because I don't think these European clubs, like just in general these sports, they're not used to like these big long trips.
No.
Right?
No.
Like here in the States and Canada, like they're used to it. Flying across the country, long overnight flights, like thousands of miles in between clubs.
Yeah.
So they're used to it. So that's not a thing like to go to across the across the country.
I agree, yeah.
To play, when Vancouver has to go play Florida, like that's
the significant flight, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I guess so. And like, me and you have always had this disagreement about it because you'll come from that background and I come from this background. And now it's starting to work. Like, I see the appeal and everything. One thing that makes me sad is, let's say, a Welsh team. Oh, actually, last season's a good example. Glasgow playing Bulls in the final in South Africa. You're never going to see 10,000 traveling Glasgow fans go to South Africa. It's just not logistically feasible, is it?
No, you won't get
and that makes me sad because that is one thing I did love about these closer geographical matchups is you would get thousands of away fans in your stadium and it's a fucking party,
Maybe
it's awesome.
It needs to be like how the NFL do it, like they have, or even the Champions Cup, where someone hosts the final.
Well, they do, right?
No, well, they got
the Champions Cup do that, right?
The Champions Cup do that, yeah.
Right.
That's what I just said.
Right.
How it's like Cardiff this year, or this.
That's
where it's going to be hosted.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe they can, like the URC, since like the big distance.
You have a neutral venue, but the problem is in this league system where there's no relegation, there has to be some motivation to want first place, and that's your home semi-final or your home final, right?
Yeah, but there's no relegation in the NFL. There's no any relegation in the NFL, and they all get pumped for it to get to first place.
But we're not in that. We're not in that spot, though, are we? We're not in a spot where the Dragons.
You get that home advantage in the knockout stages. That's why they want the first place.
You can't get rid of that home advantage, though, because otherwise you're taking away another necessary competitive stake from the league. If we don't have relegation, we're already there. The bottom end of the league is irrelevant. If we don't have the Champions Cup, which is why the merge is a bit dodgy, because you need to be not only in the top 4 but the top 6 to make the Champions Cup, and you take away home semi-finals, all of a sudden, all that matters is the top 4. So,
you're not taking away home semi-finals. You're taking away a home final.
And that's still a big deal, though.
That's the only game.
That's still a big deal, though, because Leinster losing that top spot made a difference. It made a difference this season, right?
Yeah, for the knockout stages. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just talking about the final, the championship game.
Yeah.
Being like in a random city every season.
I don't like it. I'll accept the fact we lose traveling fans.
They do it in the Champions Cup.
They do, but
they do it in the NFL are fine with it.
But the thing about the Champions Cup is it's the best of the best already. Every team is highly motivated to be there.
Are they?
Well, since we invited the South Africans, apparently not,
Yeah.
But Leinster will prioritise the Champions Cup over the URC, which shows you it's high prestige competition. Everyone is happy to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Dragons are not happy to go play Leinster next week. It's not a relevant fixture right now, right? There's no chance of them winning it. Do you know what I'm saying? You need to have... Every game needs to be meaningful. Whether it's a derby, whether it's...
Why isn't it meaningful for them to go over there?
Because it's not competitive, because we don't have a salary cap, and because of the Champions Cup, right? If Leinster prioritise the Champions Cup over the URC by having slightly weaker squads in the URC, it tells me that they're not prioritising it because they don't care about it as much.
They do treat it as they do treat the URC as like a weaker league,
right? And I understand that. Like the prestige of the Champions Cup is important. I'm not slagging them for that.
It's like they use the URC to develop their Champions Cup team.
Exactly, right? So if you want the URC to be the best league possible, every game needs to be meaningful. It has to be. So if the Dragons going to Leinster next week is not a meaningful fixture, we've got a problem. Why? And don't get me wrong, that's a Dragons problem. They need to be better, but they're not going to be better because this league doesn't have a salary cap. The gulf in resources between those two teams, they may as well be in different leagues. Right? It's not a relevant fixture. So unless we get a salary cap, every fixture has to be a meaningful game. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not competitive. So we can't lose those home finals.
I feel like if the URC did put a salary cap on, it would be so high that like
it would be ridiculous. Yeah.
It would be ridiculous, and like there'd be a salary cap. Like this is a salary cap.
Yeah.
But there would be clubs like the Dragons that still they wouldn't even get close
to it. No.
They wouldn't even get close to it.
And could try telling a high flying team with a lot of resources, we're going to knock you down several million. They'd be like, well, no.
Yeah,
fuck
it
you.
makes why would
we're at the voting board of this fucking league. Like we're not doing that.
Yeah, it's not our fault. We have money.
No, it's not our fault. These guys suck. Right. And I understand that argument as well. Right.
Yeah.
The problem is as well, I don't think it's feasible because you've got salary caps in. Like the NHL, where you've got Canadian teams and American teams with significantly. The point I'm going to make is tax difference and different currencies. Right?
Difference.
Try comparing the South African rand to the British pound or the euro. It's not a fucking comparison.
Cost of living difference too. The cost of living difference in South Africa,
it's massive
versus Europe.
Yeah, it's
right. How much they need to pay those players to have competitive wages.
It's different, isn't it?
It's different.
It's a good point. It's not just about how many euros do I get for my rand? It's about what does my euro buy me versus what does your rand buy you, and there's a so it's almost impossible to impose a salary cap there. Anyway, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying every fixture has to be meaningful for this league to continue to grow. And what we've got right now is good. Don't change the fucking final. I'll accept the fact that we're not taking 10,000 Glaswegians to South Africa because this is slowly getting better. Let's accept what we've got as it is and try and introduce things over time that make every fixture meaningful.
This is I don't know, it feels there's a hype about the URC this year.
It feels that way, yeah.
It feels like this is going to be the URC year.
This is the year where the fog has cleared, all the primordial soup is gone, and now it's like we're here, we know what we're doing, it's way more competitive, there's no shenanigans.
Do you think Glasgow should take credit for that, for putting this whole like aura?
100%. Had Glasgow not won this league last year, we'd be like, oh fucking hell, another South African team. Oh fucking Leinster again. You know, that we've had 3 winners from 3 different countries in the last 3 years is actually the main reason this league is being talked about. Because what could happen is all of a sudden South Africa and Ireland just go on a run and win it for the next 10 years. Then in 10 years time we're going, fucking hell, the USC is boring. Then we have to talk about salary cap again. You know.
Yeah, I totally 100% agree with you. If it was just like an Irish team or a South African team winning every other year. Yeah.
Then you're going to get grumpy Welsh people going, can we go get battered by the English, please? Like, we just, at least we can travel. That would make
sense.
At least we can travel to the games, you know?
Yeah, at least you can go watch the games.
At least we can watch our teams get battered. At least I don't have to fucking fly to South Africa to watch my team get battered. Do you know what I mean? It's a logistical issue, not an allegiance issue, you know? But
even though out of 19 rounds, you play 4 games in the.
But those 4 games are important.
Yeah,
they're important, right? If every fixture is meaningful and if every flight costs how much per player, it's important. When your budget is tiny, putting fucking 30 guys on an airplane is a lot of money, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not insignificant. But I think we're doing fine. But we have to cross our fingers that fucking. It's not a million years.
Yeah, the URC, like the people running the URC, they're on a teeter-totter of being a very successful league, or turning into Super Rugby.
And that's why there's a lot of
where
confidence.
You got one country, just one nation. Just it's just it can't be predictable.
No,
like look at Super Rugby. Super Rugby is completely destroyed. By just having the same team or the same group of teams. Winning it every year.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to blame Ireland or South Africa for that. It's the onus is on Scotland, who are doing very well, Italy and Wales to get better. And I think Wales will. It's just going to take a long time before we're starting to fix our finances. We'll get back there. But by the time we're getting back, are they going to be 10 years ahead of us financially? Right? So I hope we're not playing catch up. I hope we're playing.
I don't think the talent difference is that far apart.
We produce an insane amount of talent. 82 overseas players.
You're talking like the Wales is like a rugby nation. Like you're talking about one that's like used to like dominate Ireland.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, we're in the 70s. No one could fucking touch us. I mean, I'm not worried about it from that point of view. It's all about money at the end of the day. It's all about money, you know. So if we can manage our money better, we'll be okay.
Well, let's take a look at next week's URC games.
All right.
Glasgow, Benetton. Benetton's going to Glasgow.
Don't you dare write off Benetton. And I won't write off Glasgow.
I'm on the Glasgow train. We shat on Glasgow.
We did so hard.
I'm calling Glasgow every fucking game.
We need them to win again. So yeah, Glasgow all the way.
Glasgow are going to take this. Leinster Dragons.
I'm going to go, believe it or not, with Leinster.
We got the South African teams.
They're back.
They're back. Ulster's going to the Lions.
Nice.
I'm going to say Lions are going to win this game.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll join you on that because it's early season. The South African fear factor might be there, yeah.
Also, their internationals are still away, though. So that's a factor, too.
And Lions aren't the best South African team.
And I think the Lions 10 is there. Isn't that Mingome Zulu?
He's injured, though, isn't he?
Is he a Lions? I think he's a Lions player.
Is he?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
I could be super wrong.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm just going to call...
Or does he play for the Bulls?
I'm just going to call Lions and move on because I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
Bulls, Edinburgh.
Ooh, where are they playing?
In South Africa.
I'm going to go Bulls.
I'm going to go Bulls, too.
Yeah, you'd have to, wouldn't you?
Munster traveling to Zebre. I'm going to say Munster.
Yeah. Munster. Zebra on there.
Oh, here's a spicy one. Cardiff going over to Scarlets.
Fucking Scarlets are our bogey team. No matter how badly Scarlets do, they'll pull off a win. But I'm going to go Cardiff because, it's my team.
Sharks off to the Connacht.
Ooh, that'll be the game of the weekend for me, or the game I want to watch.
Yeah, I'm going to watch this game.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Saturday at noon.
Sharks need to fulfill some potential here, so I'm gonna. Do you know what though? I'm gonna say Connacht at home because I don't think Sharks.
I'm calling Connacht too for this one.
Yeah. Let's go for it.
Yeah. Ooh, we can get some more spice here. Stormers going to Ospreys.
They're developing a bit of a rivalry because Ospreys went down there and beat them, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" Stormers don't travel well either. My head's telling me Stormers, my heart's telling me Ospreys. Fuck it, I'm going Ospreys.
I'm calling Ospreys too.
All right.
Did you write these down? You didn't write them down, did you?
No.
You're a cunt. Oh right, I think we talked about everything we wanted to talk about.
I'm full. My belly is full of rugby. Lovely, delicious.
We got to talk about everything we want to talk about.
Autumn rugby. It's back. And we've got fucking Autumn Nations Cup coming up.
We got a lot of rugby watching to do.
I'm proud of myself. I watched as much rugby as I could feasibly watch this weekend.
I watched both tests, and I half watched the Leinster and the Cardiff game.
That's good.
Going back and forth.
Yeah. I also watched Australia, Wales women. That was a dramatic finish as well.
Oh, yes. Wales women beat...
Australia for the first time ever.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was a good game. Really good game. Anyway, whatever. We're run out of time, but no, proud of them.
All right, friends. Like and share the podcast. You can find us on various media outlets. I'm not going to say which ones. You got to find us. Hunt us down.
All your normal outlets.
All your normal ones. You can find us on every podcast provider, though.
We can, eh?
Yep.
That's nice.
Yeah, or even on YouTube.
Yeah, we are.
So, friends, have a good one.
I don't want to say it. No.
Say it.